Welcome back. Currently, we are learning Python, and this is day 28 of the playlist titled Python Beginner Boost. And in this video, we will learn about polymorphism in Python. So, the word polymorphism means maniform, and in programming, it refers to methods, functions, or operators with the same name that can be executed on many objects or classes. So suppose here we are having three variables. So the first variable is holding some string. So here I am writing hello world. The second variable is holding a list of elements. So let me write apple, banana, and orange. And we are having a third variable which is a set. So we can create a set using this. So let me write here something else. So let me write the name of vegetables: tomato, uh, potato, and one more name which is flower. Now if I try to execute the len, which is length method, for this individual variables, then they will act differently. So let me execute the print method. In here I will call length, and here I will pass x, which is a type of a string. So it is currently holding the string value. So here I am firstly using the length method and passing the string variable. Now I will again copy this, and I will pass here my list, and on the next line I will pass my set. So here we are using the same name, but they are having different form, because for the line number 10 we are passing a string, for line number 11 we are passing a list, and for line number 12 we are passing the set. So we are having a method which is having the same name, but they have different forms. So let me just execute this and see if we can get any error, or they will work without any error. Let me execute this. So first of all I have to write python 3 and the name of the file. So polymorphism.py and print. And here we are getting one error, at most one argument code 3. Let me create the set using the different way. I think that might be the issue. Let me execute this. As you can see, we are printing three values, which is first one is 11, which is the length of this string. The second one is 3, which is the length of the number of elements in this list, and the last one is also 3, where the length of this set is printed. Now here what we are doing, we are using the same name, but we are performing operations on different type of data. So let's try to implement the polymorphism for a class. So we will create two classes and use the same method name into two different classes. So let's do that. So I will comment this code. As you have seen that we are already using polymorphism in our code. So the code which was written by Python developers, they have already implemented polymorphism like this way. Now let's try to implement in our code. So first of all I will create a class which will be named employee or person. Let's choose the example of person, and here we will use def underscore underscore init. So it is our init method, so it will be called whenever an object of the class person is created. And here we will pass self along with name and age, and after that we will set the value of this attribute. So self dot name equals to name, and self on the next line self dot age is equals to age. Now let's call a method which is introduce method. So let's create a method introduce. We will pass the self keyword, and here we will write print, and we will use the f string, and here I will use double quote. After that I will write this statement: my name is Let's just make it employee so it will be relatable to us and it will be easy to understand. So my name is this, which is self dot name, and age is, or let me bring one more variable which is employee id. So we will create self dot eid equals to eid, and id is self dot eid. As you can see, I have created one class here which is having a method introduce, so there is no issue with it. Now let's create one more class here. So this class will be named, so one is employee, so let's create one class with the name student, and let's create the init method of it. So def underscore underscore self. Here we will pass name, roll number, and course. Let's set the value of this attribute. So self dot name equals to name, self dot roll equals to roll, and the last is self dot course equals to course. And let's create a method here which is def, and the method will be, again we will use the same name because we are learning about polymorphism. Polymorphism means same name but different ways to execute. So or polymorphism means many forms. So let me create self, and here I will pass one variable which will be greet, and let's print f, and here I will add self dot name says greet. Now let's try to create object of both the classes. So e1, which is employee one, and we will use employee class, and here we have to pass three attributes: name, age, and employee id. So name will be Shubham, age will be some number, and eid will be, let's use some string, so a b c 1 2 3. Let's try to execute the introduce method here, and let's again create some s1 which is student, and here we will pass three parameter: name, roll number, and course. So name, again I will use some name Tom, then roll number, which is my roll number will be like this, uh, xyz 121, and course is cs 101. And now here if I try to use s1 dot introduce method, and let's save it and execute the code. So for executing the code we will write this, and we are getting one error because we are trying to execute the introduce method of student class and we haven't provided the greet argument. So let us pass the greet argument. Now let's execute the code. So we are having two different classes here. One class is employee and the second class is student, and both the classes have the same method. One is introduce here and the second is also introduce. So we are having the same method with different forms here. So this is what uh, polymorphism means. We can have the methods, functions, or operators with the same name in different classes or objects. So here you can see, if I make it bigger, first of all when we call the introduce method, so the introduce method of the person, the class employees executed, and here if we call the introduce method for student, then it is also executed. So suppose if I don't provide this also, then also the introduce method of the student will be printed, but now we have to remove this because it is not expecting any argument. So now I execute this. Tom says greet, as you can see. And here in the last example, I have use the greet here. So I forgot to do that. So here what I have to do is, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to print Tom says hello. So when we give the argument, it will say Tom says hello. And now if the method is exactly same, then also we will be able to use the same method of the student class using the student object. Let's remove this and execute the code. So what does polymorphism mean? The word polymorphism means many forms, and in programming it refers to methods, functions, operators with the same name that can be executed on many object or classes. As we can see here, we are using the methods with same name that are getting executed into the object of different classes, as you can see on screen. So this is the meaning of polymorphism, and this is how we implement polymorphism in Python. That's it in this video. In the next video we will learn some more topic, and if you are able to understand something from this playlist, then please like, share and subscribe and share it in social media. Thank you very much.